Hi, I'd like to share a few ideas about getting started writing, especially since you'll do so much of it in so many different ways. One of the key things we all do is brainstorm, and it's really critical that you examine what you're being asked to produce. What is the assignment? What are the expectations? Who's the audience? Start off by brainstorming ideas, getting things down in some way, and then start working that list, crossing off the topics that don't work, but kind of narrowing things down, always keeping in mind who are you writing for and what are you producing. Take any approach that works to brainstorm, whether it's a web, just simply pouring out ideas on paper, but don't just kick back and cross your arms and think about things. Actually think with a pencil. It's really important in writing of any kind to plan what you're going to do. It doesn't have to be planned down to the letter, but it's really critical to have a direction of where you're taking the reader, of what approach you're going to use to hook the reader to make them want to read, and what kind of resource you'll create so that as you're writing, you have something to go back to just check your direction and see where things are going. Once you've planned your writing, I find it really helpful not to delete those false starts, but to start writing. When I get a paragraph that I'm not too happy with, put it down at the bottom of the page, but keep an eye on that plan that you developed and write based on what you already know you can do. Avoid distractions. Again, don't delete words. And as you work, consider revamping that plan. That's part of the nice part about developing really flexible things, is that you can shift your work as you go. Always stop writing now and then, see what you have so far, and see where you can keep going and what new directions emerge. Keep an eye on that plan. Are you following it? Should it be reworked? It's critical to ask yourself as you're working, can the reader visualize what you're talking about? Can they make these connections that help them become really involved and engaged with your work? And always, have you remembered who you're writing for? Would you read this if you had to? Or if you didn't have to, but just had the choice? The environment is critical. Think about your time. Give yourself plenty of time to develop writing, because writing often happens over days. Put the earphones aside. Turn off YouTube. Turn off those background things. If you have the program Room, give that a try. It just fills your screen and gets rid of distractions. Turn off chats, make yourself unavailable. And while I encourage people to explore other writers, I also think it's helpful to have that struggle as a writer yourself. So avoid the internet. Try your own approach with things first, and then later on see what other people are doing. Finally, dig in. Writing is all about staring at a screen, looking at paper, and keep the words going. It's always helpful to produce far more words than you need, because that's where revision happens, and that's another experience in itself. Above all, remember, this is your story you're telling, so tell your story. Keep working that plan. Keep the words coming, and then thinking about revising and how you make things better.